Plaxico Burress. I'm going to start with him. He was on a show, and I think it was the craziest pod combination you can think of, right? Lil Wayne and Craig Carton on a podcast together, and they had Plaxico Burress as their guest. And they asked him the question about, his time in prison, being on the Jets, and he was just like, he would rather, or I think that he said the feeling, I'm paraphrasing, the feeling is, it was like him being in jail, being on the Jets. Because he said every day in jail, he felt like a loser. Right? Like, the doors would close, all this stuff, and he's just like, yeah, I'm a loser. He said he had the same feeling being on the Jets. And listen, we all know how fun it is to poke fun at the Jets. We've been bad for the last 16 years. Everybody knows that. But here's the problem in regards to what Plaxico said. Plaxico Burress joined the Jets in 2011. The Jets were coming off back-to-back AFC championship games in 2009 and 10. In that season, 2011, they signed Plaxico Burress to be able to be the big target receiver, be a red zone guy. Didn't work out. They were 8-5 at one point that season and finished 8-8. That's not the same team that you saw that was inept and couldn't make the playoffs after that. This was a team that was coming off 2 back-to-back AFC title games. So you can't make the comparison of being in jail and being on the Jets because the Jets weren't losers at that time. You might have just forgotten the timeline, dog. So I'll remind you of who you are. You're the guy that shot himself. And not only did you shoot yourself, but then you went to jail for it. Fuck out of here with that bullshit. You want to go ahead and go talk shit about the Jets. You shot yourself and then went to jail for it. You're the biggest LOL at that point. So you want to go ahead and go try to rewrite history. No, we know who you are. And on top of that too, that was your last year in the league. What were your stats? 45 catches, 612 yards, 8 touchdowns. Didn't sound too impressive to me because you were shot. Just like you shot yourself before you went to jail. So you want to go ahead and go talk about having, the same experiences when you was in jail. The Jets, no, it wasn't, dog. No, it wasn't. Were the expectations high and the Jets didn't meet those expectations? Cool. But to call the Jets the losers, but maybe it's because you were on such a high with the Giants. You were the man. It's won the Super Bowl. You had the go-ahead touchdown in the Super Bowl against the Patriots. You were that guy in New York until you shot yourself. And then everything changed after that. But don't try to throw shade at the Jets. I'm not saying that the Jets are a great historical franchise because they're not. I'd be lying to you if I said that. But in regards to trying to make them something that they weren't back then, you're lying. You're lying and you're trying to get clicks and views on a podcast that nobody even knows about. So salute to you to be able to try to get all this all this clicks and views and all this publicity. Cool, you did your job because now people are going to go ahead and look at that pod, look at that episode, get the clips and go get this soundbite. But at the end of the day, don't throw shade at people that don't deserve it. The Jets organization at that time was not a dumpster fire. It wasn't hell. It wasn't a disaster. They weren't in loser territory. They took a chance on a washed up wide receiver that had glory in New York a couple of seasons before he shot himself. So not only were you shot, but you were also shot at the end of your career. So I don't want to hear about none of that shit. Miss me with that garbage. This may go viral. No, I don't know. I don't care. But at the end of the day, it's like, dude, what are you talking about? If you're going to throw shade, make sure you throw shade at facts. That's all I care about. Don't make shit up. Don't make shit up because I remember that time. A lot of Jet fans remember that time. And a lot of Jet fans, when they heard you say that, they're clapping back at you. Why? Because it's bullshit. Whatever you're saying is bullshit. It doesn't make sense. So I'm gonna move on because who gives a fuck about what Plaxico Burress says? Moving on.
Every win, every loss, every second got a cost to be the boss. Late nights, pressure heavy, never fold. Championship mindset, heart made of purple and gold.